This video is called The Audacity of Unprofessionalism. It's actually inspired by The Audacity of Hope, which was a book that I read by then Senator Barack Obama when I moved up to Michigan and he was running for president, and I was very inspired by it. And while that was a good book about great things, this is uh, a video about some problems that I have. And one of the problems that I have is when I help people that I don't know, whose journeys I have not followed, but that I have mutual friends in common with, and I develop a soft spot in my heart, and I try to help them out. You would be floored by how many people contact me, internationally, nationally, whatever, for exposure. A lot of those people, they go into my other. Facebook has got a regular mailbox and an other mailbox. The other day I checked my other mailbox and there was like 300 and something messages in there. A lot of great people. I just don't know them and I will not give them exposure. When it really gets awkward is when someone in the local community, in your city or your state, contacts you and you do have mutual friends and they ask you for exposure. What can I do? How can I get on? And that's happened to me about 2 or 3 times. And those are the only times I've ever been burned. And ironically, you try to help them and they screw you over. And then the mutual friend that you have, they'll either block you or start to talk shit about you. Now, a lot of people talk shit about me in Michigan. But the thing about it is, I'm unapologetic. You cannot deny that I have a place in the industry. The people that have tried to marginalize me outside of their city or even outside of their state, nobody knows who they are and nobody respects them, even within their own state. The reality of it is that you can't silence me and you can't ignore me. And you can make little funny jokes about me and you can say this or you could say that, but at the end of the day, I'm the one doing interviews with Miss Olympias. I'm the one talking to the IFBB pros. I'm the one writing for RX Muscle. I'm the one you're going to hear on the radio real soon. So the reality of it is that I'm a fan first. I'm a journalist second. But to a lot of people, that's flipped. To a lot of people, I'm a real journalist. I'm a real bodybuilding industry writer, producer, whatever. And when I help somebody that's prepping for their first show or that nobody's ever heard of, and they blow me off like 10 or 15 minutes before an interview, and I tell them I'll never put them on strengthaddicts.com, for that mutual friend to get mad at me or to block me or talk shit, that's bullshit. Especially when I've helped that mutual friend quite a bit and nobody knows who that mutual friend is outside of, well, Michigan or even his own city or her city. There's people that I've offered interviews to that quite frankly don't deserve the interviews. You know what I mean? And by not answering me or by leaving me to hang, that's also very disrespectful and that's also unprofessional. I mean, you have to understand that I talked to Dorian Yates on Facebook. I talked to Rick Drazen, who trained with Arnold. I'm friends with Rick Drazen. You know, I mean, I'm doing interviews with like the top pros, Christian Labarede, top IFBB pro in Latin America. You know what I mean? And it's just bizarre to me that here I am talking to Ron Love, IFBB Hall of Famer, top 10 Mr. Olympian, right up there with Lee Haney. I'm talking to these people. I'm interacting with these people. And I'm getting burned by people that have never even done a freaking show, or people that have won some, piddly ass level 1, 2, or 3 show in the NPC, and they've got it in their fat head that they're somebody. I got to tell you something. When you go to junior nationals or the junior USAs, you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you. You're not even gonna place in the top 5 or the top 10 shit. You may not place. You might be number 16. So take your ass over to Chicago or down to Miami and get a reality check. Okay? Because the fact is that you're nothing. You're nothing. A dime a dozen. But the reality is that I'm telling you this because if you had some press, if you actually cared about the fans and you actually were proactive, you would be someone. Because it's not just about the physique, it's about how you market yourself. It's about the business of bodybuilding, the term coined by Bob Ciccarello and Sean Ray. And part of doing the business of bodybuilding is not burning people that try to help you with nothing in return. How much do I make with these videos? Well, let's say that I make a video with 20,000 views. A video with 20,000 views, because I'm a YouTube Google ad partner, will make me about $15 or $16. That does not cover my gas. It doesn't cover the wear and tear on my car. It doesn't cover my food. It doesn't cover my equipment, my software, my computer. It doesn't cover any of that. It's a pittance. But I do it why, and I also sacrifice my time away from studying, away from my girlfriend, away from things that I actually love to do, because I'm trying to help that athlete. And what does the athlete get? Well, I have interviews that are 6, 7 years old that I've promoted as recently as 2 days ago. I don't just promote interviews and features or articles or polled articles during the days or the week they come out. Everything on strengthaddicts.com is somewhat current. And because of the Facebook page, you get access to 35,000 people worldwide directly. Indirectly, organically, you have access to 2-3 times that through walls and other sharing devices. YouTube, 5,000 subscribers. Unheard of in a bilingual channel. Then on top of that, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on everything. I mean, Instagram, I'm barely on Instagram. I got 400 followers. What I'm trying to tell you is that the athlete really is the one that wins. And then once I've done everything I possibly can to promote the athlete, like in the case of Maria Rita Penteado or Nicole Gray or Shannon Courtney, then what I'll do is I'll turn around and I'll go to my bosses. I'll go to Gail Auerbach and I'll go to Dave Palumbo of rxmuscle.com. And I will sell and I will plug and I will promote until they say, okay, give that person in the Iron Asylum, or give that person an interview, or give that person an article. And then I take them from strengthaddicts.com to RX Muscle. RX Muscle, the #1 contest coverage site online, the holy grail of bodybuilding. And then I help them on RX Muscle through the article, or through the Iron Asylum, or through the interview. And then systematically or simultaneously, I'm also on the RX forums with the help of Kurt James, who's the managing director of the forums. And then we put up threads, and we monitor the threads, and we keep the threads positive, and we start to really generate some buzz for this athlete. All the while, what has the athlete given me? 0. What has the athlete given RX Muscle? 0. So the thing about it is, if you're going to burn me, then don't I have a right to be upset? I mean, don't I have a right to tell you that I'm not going to work with you ever again? And if I do, then for the mutual friend to get mad, block me, talk shit about me, is that justified? I mean, I guess it is in their head. But that's why this video is called The Audacity of Unprofessionalism.